Captain Takes now.
Good morning and welcome to Friday, baby. It's Taps and Takes. You know what we do. We get in here.
We get uglier.
Actually,
maybe us. Not this guy. My God.
I know. Why is
you
Eddie
got handsome?
I haven't seen Eddie in like 6 weeks.
Eddie
and he
looking
rolls up and he's like, "Oh yeah, don't mind me and my handsome self."
Eddie
and
looking kind of shreddy right
I know,
now.
he's
My
shreddy.
God.
Eddie,
Shreddy
you're
Thompson,
shreddy, bro.
Shreddy Thompson
Shreddy
over
Eddie.
here.
He's like, "Yeah, you know, I've just been doing some sit-ups, no big deal." And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, you look very like thin from the last. You were already fit, but now you look like fit.
He lifts up his shirt. He's got like the oiled washboard abs. You see this?
I haven't had a carb since 2018.
You can wash some clothes on these things.
You want
in
to
the
touch these?
colonial
Touch
days.
these bad boys? Yeah.
Anyways,
wish.
Welcome to Taps and Takes. We talk all the nerd news, all the sports news of the week. Going live every single Friday at 8 a.m. just for you. Big shout out to Grog's Traditional Irish Pub on the northeast corner of Willow and Nees. Remember, we are taking over Grog's on St. Patrick's Day. It's going to be a little bit chaotic, but in a fun way.
In a fun, wholesome way.
In a fun, wholesome way. Elliot's already drinking some Guinness. Did you split the G? Looks like you did.
It looks like a split.
Nice.
Split?
Congratulations.
Yeah, look at you.
You haven't been around lately. I've been getting really good at it.
Lots of practice.
Once a week practicing, man. It's like my golf game. It's only getting
Once
better.
a week practicing.
Yeah, just once a week.
No.
Yeah.
At Grog's.
No,
you know.
of course.
But how many times during that once a week are you practicing?
Quite constantly. Now, speaking of golf, though, I played Pebble Beach yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How'd it go?
Plus 37 with
Nice.
probably 30 mulligans. So
That's a
probably
great
give or
handicap.
take plus 60.
You're ready for the tour.
Get me in there.
Now, Eddie, it's good to have you back finally.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
You are the one holding the Topps baseball cards that we will be breaking at the end of the show, even though we keep on chasing some gold.
Gold.
We gold, I say.
We gotta get a gold card.
No. Prospector from, Anyways, look, there's not a lot of nerd news this week, but there is some stuff that we can go and talk about. And
There's
gonna,
good stuff. There's a ton of sports stuff. There's good stuff. There's good stuff.
I'm going to go ahead and go over one that I'm not too thrilled about.
Okay.
And we're going to go right into this.
Let's go.
Kathleen Kennedy.
Kathleen Kennedy.
Now, there was a story that was leaked by Puck that said Kathleen Kennedy was planning on retiring at the end of the year.
They made it sound like she was getting low-key kind of booted.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Well, to be clear, she should have been booted probably a couple years ago, but I really think that Kathleen Kennedy has some hardcore dirt on the CEOs at Disney or something.
She
or
has
Lucasfilm.
to at this point.
Has to.
Maybe.
The major ups that she's made with Star Wars, which is the biggest IP in history, the largest IP in history, the major fumbles. Now, last week when we were talking about this, I was like, okay, let's be fair. She has given us some good stuff.
There's
right?
always good with some bad.
Well,
Yeah.
Mandalorian, you know what I mean?
Andor's great.
Andor's great. We got the second season of Andor. I really like Skeleton Crew. I thought it was great.
It was fun.
It was surprisingly
Very
great.
fun.
The Force Awakens, even though a little bit of a rehash of like A New Hope, it was also good.
It got me excited, and then it just went.
And then it just fell flat on his face.
As Eddie would say, peepee.
Yeah.
Poopy.
Just a little bit. Poopy. With all that being considered, right? When the announcement, and it's not a proper announcement, it was a leak. When the leak came out, a lot of people were rejoicing, me included. I was like, look,
Was dancing in the street.
even though I will give her the credit where the credit is due, for the most part, it was more miss than hit. And let's put this in the hands of people that respect the original trilogy, George Lucas, and what he created in general. And let's make fun, good, mysterious Star Wars projects. Let's stop trying to make these things so ideological. And I think that's where a lot of them up. They up because they want some deep social message.
Gotta send their message out.
And like, look, let's be clear. Again, going back to last week, most art is better when it is saying something.
Mhm.
Get that.
Mm-hmm.
But when that's your only focus, like you tailor your story around a way to give some kind of ideological message, you're missing the point. The point is to have a good movie.
And when you're
Yeah.
going out of your
Or
way,
show.
and when you're going out of your way specifically just to prove that message, like,
Yeah.
can we just get back to the cool stuff of Star Wars?
Let's get back to the cool
Sometimes just being entertaining is better than being artistic or a deep meaning of something
Yeah.
about the government. Just
At-
being entertaining is what people want.
At the
Yeah,
end of the day, we just want to go and watch a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's truly where they've been dropping the ball. So when it was leaked, everyone was going crazy. They were super happy about it, me included. She comes out, Elliot. And she said, no. I have no plans of retiring. Let's see how old Kathleen Kennedy is. Okay.
I don't know, she's probably still young.
She brought out all those vanilla envelopes full of dirt.
Yeah. She's like, are you sure I'm
all
retiring?
those black and white pictures. from
fanning
the-
herself with the envelopes.
How old do you think Kathleen Kennedy is?
Probably in her like late 50s.
She's
Yeah.
71 years
What?
old.
You're
dumb.
kidding.
She is
She looks
born
great for her age.
June 5th
So
of
we just have to wait her
1953.
out, is what you're saying.
I'm saying,
Yeah.
Got another decade or so of bad Star Wars.
I'm
All
saying
right.
it's time. It is time. All right. Give it to someone else. Maybe it's not Filoni and Favreau. Maybe they need a Dave Filoni to overlook kind of the story groups and what's going on. They need that. But dude, I'm telling you, it's time for her to go and has been. And just from a logistical point of view, I think it's hard for them to fire her because they have, since they bought it, I think they bought it back in like 2017, 2018.
Roughly around then, yeah.
I think I could be wrong, but around that time is when they were acquired and they bought it for $4 billion. All of Lucasfilm, $4 billion.
Quite a deal.
They've already made almost $3 billion in profit off of it since. So she is printing money for the company, but
Yep.
it's like, it's probably less her and more the IP itself because people get excited about these things.
Yeah, people are always going to see Star Wars,
So
even if it's
Yeah.
bad, just so they can say it's bad.
Well, yeah. Some of the shows I haven't finished, but yeah.
yeah, a lot of Star Wars fans these days, it's more about how much
How much they
can-
got wrong.
or no, it's more so like how much can they hate Star Wars? Who hates Star Wars more, right? Like Star Wars Theory, all he does is bitch that guy. He's so goddamn annoying. Like the figureheads on YouTube that are all like Star Wars fanatics, they're the most egregious people. Like they are so goddamn annoying because all they do is like basically argue with each other about who hates Star Wars more, right? And I'm like, dude, this is going from fandom to just like,
Oh, what a waste of time.
Bitching.
What a waste of time.
it is a waste of
Exactly.
time.
You could be watching other things.
This right here.
As somebody complains about Star Wars.
Yeah, you can watch.
As we're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
You can watch Elliot drink Guinness at 9 a.m. at Grog's before they
You can
open.
always do that.
And Drew and I aren't judging. Trust me.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
I feel like there's a bit of a lie there. We're gonna
Anyways,
move forward.
what next story we
Let's
got?
start with a little bit of FX
Okay.
adjacent news because FX did drop like their previews for the spring and summer with their first clips of like their upcoming shows. The Bear season 4, little clips of that.
I can't watch that show.
Why? Is it too nerve-wracking for you?
Yeah,
or-
I get anxiety. Like it's just constantly yelling at each other. It's just so much anxiety I get.
but
it's
that's kind
still-
of the best
but it's
part
like-
of it.
But it's like wholesome and good, but
Yeah.
also really messed up at the same
Yeah.
time.
I'll probably give it a go again.
It's
But,
good. It's
yeah,
good TV.
but
I love the Bear. I think the Bear
Bear's
is
great.
exceptional.
It wins a lot of awards.
What I don't want to happen in the Bear is kind of like what's that show where like they never Silicon Valley. Remember? Okay, I loved Silicon Valley, but those boys never succeeded. Like they would get one thing and it would set up like, oh, okay, so you're right there, and then they would
Hey, the nerd did get the hot girl though.
yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
But
Win is a win.
Yeah,
I
small
don't-
win, but it's a win.
I don't like it when it's always like you're gonna get like you have all this prospect and you fail, all this prospect and you fail. And in the story, without getting spoilers, they're at a level right now of doing something exceptional, but because of him, they may fail because of that. And I'm like, I hope that's just not a constant trope in the Bear. It's like
Well, he's constantly dealing with his own problems, man.
I get it.
Like he's doing the right steps to better himself, but he's so torn up still
But he's doing it in an unhealthy way.
Exactly.
He's becoming a prick.
Does he do a lot of drugs?
No.
No.
He's not doing drugs.
See, maybe that's the problem. Maybe we need to get him back on
maybe
drugs.
he needs drugs.
I mean, that's how most of the restaurant game works.
I think that's really how it's called, like therapy in a pill. You just pop it and then everything's good.
I was going to say like Cocaine Bear, but that's already been done.
Yeah.
God, that movie stunk.
It was awesome. What are you talking about?
That movie stunk.
Wait, did you see Cocaine Bear?
Oh, of course.
It's
great.
Did you see it in the theater?
No.
I did.
No?
Saw it opening weekend.
Did
It
you?
sucked.
Shut the f***
It was
No,
awesome.
It was hilarious.
Exactly. It was one of those good, bad movies.
It's just a bad movie.
But I had fun. Did you have fun? Was it entertaining?
When you see
Were
the
you
bear,
not entertained?
No. When you see the bear mauling fools, you're like, okay, this
awesome.
is
Yeah.
it's awesome. See, your voice got high. You lied.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch it again today.
But anyway, the star of Shogun, Cosmo Jarvis, he actually has been officially casted in Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey.
I can't wait for that.
I'm so
They're
stoked
just
on that.
racking up stars.
I know.
And he
That's gonna
fits
be-
like the Mediterranean kind of salty sea dog kind of character. So, I mean, it works perfect. Next.
I have a story here.
Okay.
Robert Pattinson shares his thoughts on the long-delayed Batman Part 2, bemoaning how old he will be when the sequel finally hits theaters, while promoting his upcoming film, Leaky 17.
Yeah,
It looks great.
I read the books. The books are amazing. The movie's going to be great. The director is amazing.
You read the books?
Yeah, you got
there's two of
Pattinson,
them.
you got Stephen Yen in it.
Dude,
I can't wait.
It's going to be amazing.
It's coming out next.
today or this week.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
This week.
Or right now, as
Let's
you're
go.
watching
All right.
watching this, it's
Let's
out
go.
of theaters.
Let's go.
So he was asked about returning as Batman for Matt Reeves' Batman epic crime saga. And they joked about his time in the franchise. Okay, I hope so. Pattinson said, Mickey 17 co-star. It is scheduled to premiere October 2027. Now,
Nice.
the first one was finished right before COVID hit, right?
Yeah.
So it was finished. We got that. They released that on HBO for all the COVID people. And then the sequel is getting delayed to the point like they haven't even started shooting.
Yeah. Well, we're in a weird spot right now with movies too, that not a lot is coming out. And that's the because of the strike, the writer's strike. So we're in that, a year later that shows up in the
Yeah.
theaters because it happened so long ago.
But I mean, like,
That didn't help.
and
I
like-
really liked the Batman. Matt Reeves' Batman.
No,
I
liked it.
enjoyed
It was good.
I loved it, but I mean, I'm okay with them taking their time. One, because I trust Matt Reeves, and two, what they prove what they can do with Penguin.
Mhm.
And if potentially it is that long, and we are maybe fortunate enough to get a season 2 of Penguin right before Batman 2, it'll be timed perfect, space perfect. I can't wait.
I think they're going to do the villains in seasons. This is just my theory. Like Penguin, and then they'll do like a Selena Kyle one, and then like the old Batman's where they had like the conference of all the bad guys.
Yeah.
I think that's what they're trying to build up in this.
And I'm totally okay
I'm
with
in for
that.
it.
Yeah,
Because
I'm
the Riddler's
super-
still alive. He's in Gotham. We saw a little hint of the Joker, which is Barry
Yeah.
Keoghan or whatever.
Yeah.
So if they do that, I am all in on that.
And we got Penguin.
But you also
He
have
runs the
this
stone.
James Gunn cinematic universe that he's building for DC. And this will go into our next story here. Superman was actually screened. Did some test screenings.
How'd it go?
Actually, well.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Because Superman's gonna be great.
but this comes with an asterisk.
Super butt.
So James Gunn he is notorious for being a super planner, storyboarding.
He's a
planning
perfectionist.
before they shoot, so they don't have to reshoot. Something that he like prides himself on, not doing reshoots because it's all planned before. He rather shoot more, do it all in editing instead of shoot less and go reshoot.
Yeah.
They are doing some reshoots on
Uh-oh.
Superman. Now, that's a common practice. That to me does not scream a problem.
Nope.
If they're reshooting, if it's like months of reshooting, then yeah, it could be a potential problem.
There's a difference between reshooting and rewriting. Well, after you've already shot. And
Right,
then reshooting.
That's true.
Since he's not doing that, I think it'll be
Well,
safe. Yeah. 'Cause
we don't-
sometimes you just don't get what you need when you're going through the editing process.
and
You know what
that's
I mean?
true. And I don't know what the full length of the reshoots entail,
Knowing him,
but it was based on feedback. But overall, the kind of feeling that everyone is getting from Superman is positive. Like people are like, oh, this is going to be something special. It's going to be big.
Because it is going to be something special. It's Superman.
Well, I figured it was going to be something big, dude. I mean, it's Superman for God's sakes, and then James Gunn's doing it, so it should be something that's big.
Yeah, and people, people are all like, I get it. Man of Steel was good.
I loved Man of Steel.
I thought Man of Steel was good.
I thought Man of Steel was so goddamn good.
No, I did too, but I mean, like, this is Superman.
What was your problem with Man of Steel?
It was like, well, first of all, the director, who's ruined almost everything that I've got excited about. And
that's kind of fair.
But it was long and it just boring to me. Like it wasn't Superman. It was, but yeah, it was just
that
too
part,
much of that.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. That part was kind of lame when he didn't let his son save him. And when he's just like, no, I'll die. And it's like, dude, you're Superman. He could have just shot in there, grabbed you.
It was
no
too
one
dark.
Noticed.
It was too dark and drawn out and slow.
But the
Superman's
fighting,
supposed to be fun. And
fight scenes are like the best realized live action version of like an anime fight. Because if you go back and just watch the Superman fight in Man of Steel, when he's fighting.
No, it feels like a Superman fight.
Well, dude, it feels like a live action anime. How they're like punching each other and like the ground's like going like this, like underneath, like that's tight. I thought that
how
was
much
fun.
of that was there compared to how much him and Lois Lane talking?
Right. Yeah. Well, and I didn't like who they picked for Lois Lane.
Yeah. So I mean, it just wasn't my cup of tea. You know,
it wasn't.
Let's go to Oscars.
All right, we can go Oscars.
Well, what was the next story you wanted?
Well, I've got just one more like little thing. It's a little bit of big thing because it is one of the most profitable animated movie series of all time. Shrek 5, the first little like clip of it came out. Mike Myers, Cameron Diaz, Eddie Murphy reprising their roles. A lot of them are reprising their roles. Zendaya has been cast as Shrek's daughter. And so with that, you always get fandoms checking out the animation, checking out if things look good. Characters look aged up, which is normal. It's been like, 20 years since the last Shrek movie. And fans have thoughts. Now, typically, I don't like to jump on it looks terrible, so poo-poo on the animation, right? Mm-hmm. Animation takes so much time to do.
Well, you straight up, like, you were talking about what? You were talking about, God, what was it? Invincible the other day. You're like, lay off Invincible on its animation.
If the story is captivating and it's done well, the animation can be kind of whatever.
Just sucks we're not going to get a new Smash Mouth song this time around.
That's fair. Yeah. But so fans have seen the characters, and a lot of them, like the crazy ones, are like, we need to bully them the way we bullied Sonic to make Sonic better. And even Sonic creators were like,
well, they did a good job on recreating Sonic, though.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I mean, and even the Sonic creators got in on it, like, hey, if you need help with your green problem, let us know.
It doesn't look bad. I'm looking at it right now,
Shrek,
dude.
Fiona, Zendaya's character, they don't look bad. Donkey, for me, though, is a little meth looking. And I'm sure that's a part of
He's getting old, man. Donkey's old.
And I'm sure that's a part of like...
And he has like 18 kids.
Are you old shaming Donkey?
No. Dude, he has 18 kids.
18 kids. But I have one and
it's a miracle he's alive.
Hold on. A part of me thinks that's a part of the story why he looks kind of straggly run down. Because he looks like he got in on that pixie dust.
And can we go back to what we say about this? People need to back the off of creatives. Now look, there are some times when it was the right call, like the Sonic will forever live in infamy.
Yeah.
But we've talked about this before. If fans dictate how things look, what the story is, it will be the most boring ever.
Yeah.
He probably looks like that because he's getting older and he has all these kids and he's just cracked out.
Maybe he's got that fairy godmother pixie dust. You know
Can we also give a reminder to everyone out there who's talking smack on how Shrek looks? This is a freaking kids movie.
It's a kids movie.
Hold on a second.
It's made to entertain kids.
Hold on a second. Puss in Boots: Last Wish.
It was a great movie, but also a kids movie.
Yeah, but they had literally death chasing this guy that whole movie.
I'll go even further. Star Wars, made for kids.
Yeah, teens, young adults.
Oh, Marvel movies.
Young adults.
Also made for kids.
Yeah. No, those were made for 35 and up. All right. You're welcome.
Let's go over the Oscar wins.
Sure.
We can just go over the important ones.
Let's just go over Oscars in general.
Right.
Thoughts? Conan should only ever host everything
Conan
ever.
was awesome, dude.
Yeah.
It was good. I was
great.
watching it kind of off and on my tablet while I was cooking and doing stuff with my daughter, but it was a lot of upsets.
Yeah.
Dune got some pretty cool awards.
Yeah, I mean, they got awards they absolutely should have. Special effects or visual effects.
But
definitely need that sound for
was
sure.
The winner was Anora.
Anora. Well,
huge upset.
Yeah.
See, here's my problem with Best Picture.
You know why Anora won?
Hopefully,
by the way, it was a great movie. I saw it.
Okay,
I'll tell you why Anora won right now. This is my conspiracy. I don't do a lot of conspiracies.
Put your foil hat on real quick.
I don't know why Dune.
Oh, Dune wasn't going to win ever.
I don't know why Timothée Chalamet didn't get a nomination for Dune. I don't know why the director didn't get a nomination for Dune.
Because it's a sci-fi movie.
I don't understand why. It's clearly the best movie made last year.
That one year, the Mad Max Fury Road was clearly the best movie of the year.
Right.
And it won all the awards that Dune won for special effects, for all that stuff, but didn't win.
It is absolute stupid. So you had the whole Emily Perez kind of backlash and all that stuff. Then they were like, oh, this is going to be a front runner for all these awards.
Brutalist was the front runner.
Well, they were like,
so Emilia Perez tied with Forrest Gump in having 13 nominations, the most we've seen in a long time.
How many did it win?
I think it only won 2, which tied Dune 2 for most wins.
Zoe Saldana won
Best Supporting Actress.
Yeah.
And she's an incredible actress.
Hold on, let me get back to this. So the lead actress is transgender, but there was a bunch of stories after the upset, how the discourse of all the nominations came out, and how Emily Perez and then that clip was going around, and people were like, oh, 13 Emmy or Oscar nominations, whatever. But they went back and there was some like really, really problematic tweeting that she has done in the past. And I feel like whatever that discourse was, they were like, oh, well, we're stuck now. Like, I thought that they were going to basically just give them all to this movie.
So I
thought the Brutalist was going to.
So I was seeing in like different things. At first, Emily Perez was that clear like favorite because they had so many nominations, and then it started to be the Brutalist, and then you were hearing whispers about Anora. It
was really good.
An incredible movie really for people who saw it, and
very captivating.
I'm like you. I thought Dune. A part of me thinks Dune premiered too early in the year.
Yes,
so people
that's a problem too.
So people kind of forgot about it.
It's so fucked up because that's the best movie of last year.
It was my favorite movie of last year.
Yeah, but Anora wins.
The Brutalist. Did you watch The Brutalist?
I don't have 4 hours to spare right now.
Yeah, because it's very long.
Adrian Brody wins his second Oscar.
Yeah.
Weird career.
He won it for The Machinist, I believe.
No, the Pianist.
Oh yeah, Machinist is what's his name?
Christian Bale. So The Pianist, and then who did My Diet when he did the movie?
The Get Super Skinny. The Get Super Skinny. Yeah. What else, Elliot?
Best Animated Feature, Flow wins. And
that was great.
Yeah. So this is the first time in 3 years that Disney has not won an Oscar for an animated film.
That's
3 years straight.
I watched it with my daughter. It's a very interesting. It's really good, but there's no talking.
Really?
The whole movie is zero talking. It's just the story of this
story of a cat.
I heard that the Wild Robot got the shaft job on that.
Yeah, that was also really good.
That the Wild Robot definitely should have won.
No, it was a really good year for animated movies. Yeah. I think a lot of them, Inside Out 2 was very good.
Yeah.
Wild Robot was great.
Yeah.
Flow was really good.
I'm trying to get my daughters to watch Wild Robot with me. I heard that it fucks you up. Like as a parent, you start to get
get ready. Get those tear ducts ready. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I want to talk Monster Hunter right now.
Wow.
Monster Hunter.
Wow.
So here's the deal. Your boy has had zero
that's what I figured. Yeah, that's what I figured.
And it's very upsetting. But here's also the deal.
The deal. Deal or no deal?
I'm in the middle of deals.
Or no deals.
Real estate deals. But I'm going to be closing a lot of them. Hopefully in the next couple weeks.
Okay.
I'm going to lock the room
and hunt some monsters.
And I'm going to hunt the goddamn monsters,
and watch my cat friends make food for me.
We have a listener that was like, hey, you were talking about it, so we got it. My 7-year-old picked it up, and it's like surprising how easy they can get into it. And I'm like, welcome to Monster Hunter. Now, excuse me. The cool thing is that even though it's a little bit easier, right? It is a little bit easier to like get you to high rank, because how Monster Hunter works is basically like the whole like story is basically a tutorial. There's never really a lot of emphasis on story. This is the most emphasis they've ever done on story.
The title kind of says it all.
It does.
Monster Hunter.
And the loop is what is so driving about Monster Hunter, is the loop of gameplay. So when the game's done is when the game starts. And that can be confusing to a lot of people. And what my theory is that they gave a 10 to 15 hour experience for people that just want to play and beat a game, right? Just beat a game. But the real game starts when you're done. And a lot of people were very like questioned about. Remember, we talked about it. They're like, it seems like, dude, a lot of streamers that I watch, they're so goddamn addicted to this game right now. I'm like, the optimization can do a little bit. They're going to be doing some hot fixes and stuff.
Every game goes through patches now.
It kind of screams that it needed about another 3 to 6 months in the oven, but they needed to make a fiscal release schedule, for the year. However, I will give you updates when I start playing this game, because my wife is
3 months.
Hate me. Yeah, in 7 years.
Yeah. When the next Monster Hunter comes out and he's like, okay, Sarah, I know I asked for a brand new gaming PC graphics card and Monster Hunter, but Monster Hunter Revolution's going to be awesome. So please, baby.
I need another graphics card.
I need everything.
All right, Elliot.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this. We'll end our news on this.
Yes.
What's up with these leaks, dude?
Okay, so there have been reported leaks of concept art for Marvel's Avengers Doomsday. And I got to tell you, if this is where they decide to go, and hopefully these are accurate, this movie's going to be awesome.
It looks fucking
I'm going to give you...
Did you see the leaks, Eddie?
No.
You didn't see?
Okay, so some of the, while you're looking it up, I'm going to give you some of the concept art photos, all right? So you had Star-Lord and White Vision
just hanging out.
Yeah, being bros. Star-Lord and Wong teaming up with the next aged Avengers, which they're weirdly, I feel, great for the mentor roles, because they're both like goofy, but also very responsible, but not at the same time. Yeah. You have a new Black Panther who looks like kind of old school, classical. Wow. And then you have Greenland with all the different Hulks. But it's like a medieval kind of aesthetic to it. And then you just have God Doom dripped out, posing on fools.
God Emperor Doom looks so sick. And actually just Doom on
his throne
before the white suit looks so fucking great, dude. I'm looking at all of this artwork and I'm like, God damn, I hope this is what they give us. Like, and I have another... I don't think anything is accidentally leaked these days. Okay.
I think it's just a way to test
their testing. They're testing reactions. And everyone is like obscenely over the moon about the way that this looks. Because remember, this is just aesthetics. You still have to make a good movie.
This is literally art.
Yes. This is concept art. Now, I've heard conflicting stories. A lot of people that are insiders are saying, nope, this had nothing to do with it. This is more of just a really talented fan art guy. And then I've heard others saying, yeah, no, that's definitely associated with Marvel. So
some of these Star-Lord pictures look really good.
Yeah, no, the artist is excellent. Yeah. But dude, the way Doom looks is
great.
It is a chef's kiss. Yeah. It looks perfect. God Emperor Doom looks sick. There's a sign of it's a scene where he's on a throne and you have a bunch of people around him. And Stephen Strange is in like a cloak with his hair bunned up.
Yeah.
God Emperor Doom right there. And they just so nailed the look. And they're largely apparently going to be basing this off of Jonathan Hickman's Secret Wars run, which Jonathan Hickman is my favorite. Now, there's a lot of good comic book artists and writers out there, but as a writer, I think Jonathan Hickman is probably my favorite comic book author. He's done my favorite run of X-Men. His Avengers run was iconic. He wrote something called East of West, which is probably one of my favorite comic book series of all time, which is a little bit niche, but it's like a sci-fi Western about, the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse backstabbing death because he fell in love with the woman, and it's like apocalyptic in nature. There's a lot going on, but he brings these high-end concepts about multiverses colliding into each other and incursions and all this. And he really fleshes it out. He's an amazing writer. So if they're basing what they're doing off of Hickman's run, but doing it in a MCU package,
style.
God damn it, I'm so fucking in, and I want this now. Here's the question. The last big Avengers movies that we've had, they were led up, and you care about all these characters because they had 8 years.
Yeah.
I know it's 10 years total, but they had 8 years of a foundation of individual movies and character development and all this stuff to make you care about all these people and their dynamics.
Really played well going into the next one, but outside of like the Thor.
There were no shows either.
The problem is that the core Avengers now are going to be led by, Captain America, Sam Wilson's Captain America, and the new Falcon. And do you or do you not have like the first setup of Doomsday with them making a team, or do they already have their core people in to make you care and they're just going forward?
I think what you should do is you shouldn't have them be formed as a team yet, because you're introducing the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
You got the new Captain America and his little squad up, or just him, maybe.
His clique.
Yeah. I think you should have it, if you're going to do what I think they're going to do, which is Battle Earth. I think you should have
Battle World.
Battle World, apologies.
Mm-hmm.
If you are going to do Battle World, you should have it like that. Separated, scattered.
Yeah, but that won't be until Secret Wars. They have a movie before that.
Yeah.
My point is, a lot of the like straggler characters that they have here, no one really cares that much about, right? You do have your core. You have Spider-Man, you have a Deadpool, and I think Fantastic Four is going to be a major success. So you'll have these core characters.
Doctor Strange is
Strange is still around. So you have core characters, but like the Ironhearts and, all of these.
Those are like secondary.
The Marvels.
Not a lot of people are going to care much about them. So I have high hopes just on the leaks of how much they're really nailing the aesthetic of what this can be and should be. It's going to be weird, but in a good way.
What happened to Moon Knight?
Moon Knight's still around. I actually kind of liked Moon Knight.
I did like it too.
But all in all, the leaks, they look great. If Orky has time, he'll lay in a couple of those pictures for you as we're talking about it. So hopefully you got to check it out. Now we're going to take a quick break.
Quick little break.
Bunch of sports stuff, and we'll be
Sports.
That's coming up next. Big shout out to Grog's Traditional Irish Pub on the northeast corner of Willow and Knees. They are the ones that sponsor Taps and Takes. They are the ones that allow you to have all that good nerd news and sports news every single Friday morning. And also, they're going to be our official first live broadcast on St. Patrick's Day. So yes, it may be a little bit of bedlam, but that's okay. We're signing up for it. I can't wait. Go support Grogs. Go buy a pint. Go get some Jameson in your system, and we'll see you on St. Patrick's Day. Remember to wear your green, because if you don't, you're getting pinched. That's right, Grogs, baby, Grogs. Northeast corner of Willow Knees. Don't you dare forget, we're going to be here live. Potentially broadcasting live via Twitch on St. Patrick's Day. We're getting the back end stuff figured out, but we got some new equipment. We're tooling around with bringing back Dumb Debate Day and actually doing some fun stuff on a live format for everyone with Orky. Did we figure out the phone line?
Yeah.
With the phone line, so you can call. And yes, that is going to be coming up. That is the plan. Which
it's a great idea. It's going to go over very well.
Yeah. It's going to be very shaky, potentially. Could be dicey. But I think it's more about bringing you back into a live format and us doing this, because this was always a goal. So yes, St. Patrick's Day, Grogs. It's already given that you're going to be here, but we're going to be here live. Now, Elliot and Eddie.
Yes.
Eddie and Drew.
Sports. Elliot loves balls, big old balls.
Yeah.
Softballs and baseballs and golf balls. And he puts it in a sack. The ball sack.
Wow.
Elliot.
Gets better every time you sing it.
That's perfect.
Elliot.
Yo,
Give me some sports stories.
there is a plethora.
A
of
plethora.
A plethora.
All right, what do we got?
We'll start with the NFL, because a couple of stories here. T. Higgins, the number 2 wide receiver for the Cincinnati Bengals, and one of, honestly, the best wide receivers in the NFL when he's healthy. He's getting franchise tagged from the Cincinnati Bengals, meaning he will be on a 1-year deal for $26.2 million. Now, good.
1 year?
Good for the short.
1 year for $26 million?
So they do that to make sure, they don't go to another team, an opposing team, because they don't want to pay the long contract like they will for Jamar Chase.
When they move around in conferences, do they usually stay in the same conference? They just go to another team?
They go whoever offers them the most money or the best deal.
The smart teams try and get them to the NFC. Like if you're an AFC team, you try and get them to the NFC teams.
Yeah.
That way you don't have to play them more
during
than
regular
once,
season.
or see them in the playoffs outside of maybe the Super Bowl.
Or you could be the Giants and just let Saquon Barkley walk for free, go to the Eagles in the same division and win a Super Bowl the next year.
Right.
I bet you they're kicking their own ass over that, dude.
Yeah, for sure. And it doesn't help that they might have the worst upcoming season.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, they're going to be awful.
Them and the Raiders are not looking great next year.
But the Raiders have Pete Carroll.
They do. They do have Pete Carroll. They did get a brand new coaching staff. He chews gum.
He like overwhelmingly chews gum.
Chews gum like this. Yeah. But T. Higgins, probably not stoked that he's getting franchise tagged, but it does give the Bengals another year to figure out what they're going to do with him.
I think he has 26 million reasons to be stoked about it.
Yeah, no, I would be pretty pumped about it. Like if I got $26 million, that's $2 million a month. That's more than $2 million a month.
You would be stoked with that, but when Jamar Chase is about to probably get a 4 to 5 year deal and be the highest paid wide receiver in sports.
Yeah, but he'll go somewhere else next year and get a really good deal too.
Yeah, but I mean, when you have the thought of leaving one of the best running quarterbacks and offenses in the NFL to potentially maybe not, I mean, that's always something you got to think about as a wide receiver. So do you take the pay cut to stay on the Bengals, or do you try and get that money and potentially land somewhere a little poopy? The problem, the conundrum of wide receivers in the NFL. Next, one wide receiver that landed in a great spot, Deebo Samuel, the 49ers wide receiver and kind of versatile running back wide receiver wombo combo that he is.
Wasn't he having trouble during the regular season last year? Wasn't he like injured or something?
He's often injured.
He struggles with.
He's injured every year.
He struggles with injuries, but the Commanders picked him up in a trade for only a draft pick, a late draft pick, mind you. So this is a great deal for them. Another 1 year kind of prove it contract for Deebo. So if he does great, the Commanders have a chance to sign him long term, but he is getting older as a wide receiver running back mix. And if you've played running back, your career typically is shorter than most wide receivers.
Here's the thing, though. The Commanders aren't going to use him as a running back. They're going to use him as that short, intermediate receiver and let Terry McLaurin feast over the, and because you have Austin Eckler there too.
Yeah. So the Commanders are only getting better on offense. They still need to address the defense, but they have a ton of salary cap, so they can address the defense if they want to when free agency starts. So the Commanders in good spots right now.
The 49ers, does Brock Purdy continue to be their quarterback?
Yeah,
yes.
They'll give him 1 more year.
1 more year.
They'll give him 1 more year and then probably sign him to a long-term deal, if I had to guess.
Yeah, it depends on how he does.
It depends on how he does.
I think there's so much uncertainty in quarterbacks. You've seen him play well when you've needed him to play well. I think.
Well, he rose to the occasion for sure.
No, I don't think
when he did. Yeah, but now the problem is the 49ers offense, right? Who do you have? You have Ayuk, who's coming off a crazy injury, who doesn't want to be there. Now you have Juwan Jennings as your number 2 receiver. Kittle's aging. McCaffrey can't stay healthy.
Trent Williams is aging.
You think McCaffrey's gone? Do you think they trade him?
I doubt that, but I don't trust his legs.
He can't. He has glass bones. He's phenomenal. He had 1 really good season with the Niners in the past few years.
Yeah,
or he's been there for 3 years.
Yeah.
He had an amazing season, but he just can't stop getting injured.
I just don't see them finding somebody that can match Purdy in free agency. So I think they would probably just stick with him.
Or if you have a bad year, you let him go and you start rebuilding with the draft.
I mean, a lot of questions for the 49ers. A lot of questions. Especially it doesn't help when the Rams now seemingly re-sign Matthew Stafford. So they're still going to probably be the top dog in that division.
He's still old.
He's old, but you still got it. Still got it. Next, let's do something a little closer to home.
That's so funny. That's so funny.
I don't know.
He won a playoff game.
Yeah. Okay. He's like 45 years old, man.
Okay.
He won a playoff game.
He beat the Vikings, who should have been the 1 seed.
Is he?
Daniel Jones won a playoff game.
Okay. Matthew Stafford's won a Super Bowl. Don't put him on Daniel Jones's level. He
did
won a
win Super
ring.
Bowl. He did.
He beat Joe Burrow.
And they'll probably not have Cup. So we'll see. That offense I'm a little worried about.
Still got Puka.
Yeah.
Puka.
Always oft injured.
Still good. And they've got Tyrell Williams, who's one of the best running backs in the NFL.
Kyren Williams.
Apologies.
Apologies. The Guinness is talking.
Yeah.
Sure.
Apologies to the real Tyrell Williams out there if you're listening.
Yeah.
Probably great.
That was Elliot's mess up.
Next,
Sorry.
local story here. Fresno State basketball team, the men's basketball team, had a couple of players doing a little sports betting on themselves.
Okay, before you even tell the story, can I say something? And I don't know what's wrong with this. If they're betting on themselves to win, that should be allowed. If you are of betting age and you are betting on yourself to win, that should be allowed. It's when you bet on yourself to lose, that's bull.
I don't know if you've seen Fresno State basketball, but they definitely should not be betting on them to win. That's
But you see what I mean? Like, you're betting on yourself to perform. Okay. But you're not betting on like throwing the game.
But when you start betting on unders, that's when it gets diced.
Right. There were sightings that the players were betting unders on rebounding and point.
No bueno.
And point
that's
totals.
bullshit.
Yeah.
Can't do that, man.
No.
Yeah.
Now, if you bet overs, I kind of agree because you're shooting for it.
Right.
But catch this though. If you bet overs on rebounds, bet overs on points or whatever, you're not playing with your team because you want to get the rebounds. You want to get the points.
Yeah.
So you're going to be a ball hog.
That's true.
Team game.
Maybe they should be allowed to bet just singularly on the idea of them either winning or losing or doing just a simple.
You can dictate if you win or lose.
Point over.
If you want to bet, how about you could bet on anyone else except the team you're on or the team you're playing?
Agreed. Yeah. How about letting them bet outside of conference?
Yeah.
There you go.
Let them bet on the Oscars.
There you go. Yeah.
Heads and tails in the Super Bowl. That's fine.
Yeah. Honora was like plus 1,200. You would have made a killing.
Crushed. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Joel Embiid, we talked about this and I totally called it last week, but he has been shut down for the season.
You were very proud that that level of prognostication came out of Elliot.
He's like,
I called it. I was right.
Totally called it.
I was right. I called it.
Next, let's go to the saddest.
Tyrell Williams.
Arguably the shut your gob. The saddest story in the NBA, and that is the Dallas Mavericks.
Oh.
Dallas Mavs have had a lot of pee stuff going on after just trading the best player in the NBA for an aging 31-year-old who's had injury problems in Anthony Davis, for him to play one quarter and then get hurt and be out for weeks, for then their other bigs to be out for weeks. And then now you have Kyrie Irving, one of the best ball handlers and point guards in the league, a little older himself. It has been confirmed from last night's game. He has a torn ACL in his left knee. He is out for season. To just add to the disaster of the season. Hang on, there's more. There's more to the Dallas Mavs.
I wanted to ask Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
So you do your more, and then I have a question for Eddie.
Okay, because seemingly they just know they can't get good press right now. They decided to sprinkle in with Sports Illustrated. Ticket prices for the Dallas Mavericks games are going to be rising 8.6% from this year's pricing. So
Perfect
it
timing.
only gets worse for Mavs fans.
Okay.
Didn't they say that they weren't going to allow fans to wear Luka's jersey?
So I had that story last week and I got senteled. So there's two people. There's NBA Central, which is legitimate sports news.
Oh no.
And then there's NBA Sentel that does eerily close and similar mean
He got
things. And I got got. Funny enough though, Colin Coward got it too.
No, he did.
They got
All
it.
right. Question to you.
So it gets people.
I got an answer.
We got
So
Sentel.
We've heard Elliot wax poetic about how bullshit it is about the A's going to Vegas.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Why are we going here?
Hold on.
Okay.
Because there is a conspiracy theory.
There is a
here.
conspiracy theory about the Mavs because, as Elliot explains it, the new owners of the Mavs, or majority owners, are casino tycoons.
They are.
They can't do their mega casino / sports center in Dallas like they want to. So they're trying to alienate the fans to give a justification on moving the team to Vegas so they can do their big casino / sports center.
Yeah.
And trading Luka was one of the first balls to drop, if you will.
No pun intended.
Yes, to get that going. Do you think that holds weight? Because, effectively,
we know Vegas does want an NBA team. They've been very loud.
They would have all of them,
they're the
right?
They're the biggest upcoming sports town in America.
The problem that the A's are going to have, and the problem that the Dallas Mavericks would have now is it'll become too colluded. And that's the problem that LA has.
What do you mean?
As in, you already have the hockey team.
Mhm.
Now you have the football team. You have the Las Vegas Aces, the women's basketball team, who's won championships. And now you're going to bring in baseball, right? So now you have 4 major sports. And then you're going to bring in a 5th one. And then it's going to...
Basketball would be the final one.
Yeah.
Right? That would be... If they're trying to have a major team in all major sports franchises, this would be the last one.
Doing it in LA the way it is now, there's no one goes to Angels games. They suck, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
The Padres are doing well in San Diego, but obviously the Dodgers won, but the basketball games, like the Clippers can't get the brand new arena, and it's I watch a game, it's half full.
Really?
Right? It's so, but that's a big metropolis. Vegas is a big city, but it's very not big, if that makes sense.
No, it makes sense, but
The tourism's great.
and that could be the one saving grace to this is that I know people that have traveled to go see, they're not even Raiders fans, but they want to go to that arena to watch that live.
It's beautiful.
So they will go to Vegas in order to have like a Vegas weekend and watch a sports game. You can argue that a lot of people would do that
I
as
think
well.
the A's are going to struggle to sell tickets.
Really?
I really do. Because A, it's going to be hot as crap
Mhm.
when they're playing.
Yep.
B, their team is terrible. Right?
Yep.
The hockey team has been good. The Raiders are in the NFL, so you're going to get just that.
Mm-hmm.
And then the women's basketball team's been
The
very
Aces,
good. Yeah. So now you bring in a crappy baseball team and adding more when there's already so much to do in Vegas.
Right.
And then you're going to add an NBA team, which looks like when they come, if this is what the prophecy says or whatever, they're going to be crappy.
Do you think that the conspiracy holds weight though? Do you see them?
100%.
Yeah.
There's money to be made. And Dallas is a big market. Texas is a big market.
Right. So they're already competing with the Cowboys. They're already competing with the college basketball teams and college football.
Ton of college basketball and football in that area.
Right. Plus, on top of that, you have the
And
Houston
baseball,
Rockets,
and the
the
Texas
Houston
Rangers.
Texans, the Rangers. I mean, and the Stars on top of that. And the Stars are really good right now.
They are good
in hockey. So, I mean, there's already a lot. It's kind of like the problem with Vegas. You're already fighting for just your morsel in the big state of Texas.
Vegas will get a NBA team in the next 10 years. I think they will. I don't know who.
And it's going to be the Vegas Mavs.
That would make sense, right? A Maverick is
a Maverick from, the cards and the betting.
NBA teams don't change their name. The Lakers were from Michigan.
I think the only one, like the
There's no jazz in Utah.
Yeah.
I've been to Utah. Nobody plays jazz
no
there.
one's doing jazz out
the
there.
farthest thing from jazz. Yeah.
What else you got?
Lastly, let's just talk a little bit about this past weekend because one of the biggest stories was wrestling. WWE
Wrestling?
Elimination Chambers. Now, we do have our WWE extraordinaire. The E is for extraordinaire with Fast Eddie Edward Rouse. So,
With
Eddie,
new abs.
why don't you
With
give
new
us
abs.
For
a-
that belts, for that belts.
Yeah.
why don't you give us a recap of Elimination Chambers and the big news that came from it as we lead towards WrestleMania?
Well, I'm going to be quick. The matches sucked. It was kind of a very predictable elimination chamber. The Sami Zayn Owens fight was my favorite. It was the best. The women's elimination chamber was okay. The Tiffany Stratton and that was kind of could have been on a normal Raw or a SmackDown. But when all these matches were said and done, and John Cena won the elimination chamber, which 110% of people knew was going to happen.
He's still wrestling?
This is his farewell
It's
tour.
his retirement tour.
Got it.
He came out and he won. And because he won, he's probably going to face Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania because Gunther and Uso are already going to be the other major title in the men's. So, they're friends. So Cody comes out, he's chilling. And Cody has a decision to make because The Rock is back. And he says, Cody, give me your soul.
Final boss stuff right there, baby.
Final boss. And you could have everything you desired and everything. And or you're going to have to bleep this out because this was awesome. Cody Rhodes told Rock pretty much no f***ing way.
Yeah.
Ain't no way.
Ain't no way.
Ain't no
And
way.
John Cena started laughing because John Cena has been a good guy in WWE forever. He's
Forever.
never been a heel.
He's
never been a bad
He's
guy.
Captain America.
The Rock started as a bad guy, right? He started as
He's been
kind of like
both.
a heel.
He's gone back and
He's
forth.
gone back and forth.
And now he's the bad guy again. And he looks over behind Cody Rhodes and looks at John Cena and gives him a signal. And John Cena turns to Cody Rhodes and beat shit out of him.
Kicked him in the
Who
neck,
else was
Kenny.
there? Travis Scott.
What?
What did Travis
Why was Travis Scott there?
Why not? You know?
Okay.
What
Why
did
not?
Travis Scott do? Beat the shit out of Cody Rhodes. And there's actually a point where he actually does punch him and he doesn't do it right and does punch him.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. It was,
Travis
it was
Scott?
an accident, but it was a real punch.
And now, this might be not real, but let me ask you, did Travis Scott, in fact, light a blunt?
The Rock did say after that he had a 3-hour contact high after hanging out with him.
Okay.
So
you got
probably
you
yes.
got lit Travis Scott, John Cena now heel, and The Rock just beating the brakes off of Cody Rhodes.
You know,
Yeah.
that is kind of
But John Cena's a bad guy now.
that
For the first time ever.
that obscene nature of WWE is kind of why
it's so great.
it can be great.
Even when you think it's predictable, that something like that happens that's unpredictable.
I was watching WWE when it was WWF, and this is the Raw Monday Night Raws.
Yep.
Probably
Yeah, still have 'em.
7th, 8th grade is when I was into it, and this is the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
Of, the X-Pac would come out and be like, "Boo, boo," and I was like, "Yeah," right? And it was fun. The pageantry of it all was fun.
yeah.
What boy doesn't like going around going, yeah?
Yeah, dude, everyone fucking did
They
that.
used to have like Jeff Hardy take on the Undertaker, and that in a ladder match for the title, and that was Monday night.
Dude,
that wasn't even pay per view. That fight was awesome.
Well, the Raw's better because it's on Netflix now. They have more of those.
Okay,
I
better
saw
matches.
live the death match kind of with Mankind and Undertaker. I watched that
him
live.
off like
Dude,
the
when
Hell
he
in the Cell.
threw
Yeah,
him through the gates and like a bunch of shit that happened was unplanned. I watched that live. That was awesome. Okay. I don't know when I fell out of it. I've tried to watch it here and there.
I think
but
you go
I can't,
through. I think everybody goes through like middle school to high school is kind of where you kind of fall off it, and then maybe you kind of look back at it and you get back into it a bit. That's kind of how I did it.
That's where I'm back. But I don't like, I'll see like what happened on Raws and SmackDowns. Then I'll just watch like the main clips or whatever. But I watched like the pay-per-views.
And whenever it comes into town, I go.
Oh, it's fun.
I love WWE Live.
There's one coming. It's not. It's
AEW.
It's AEW. It's going to be here in like a week or two.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be fun. But AEW, it's like they're trying to be the Attitude Era. It's just not as good as WWE.
Well, and the Attitude Era was awesome, but so was the Ruthless Aggression Era. The Ruthless Aggression era right after was also cool. They had Edge and Lita doing a porno.
No, the NWO
on like a Monday Night Raw.
That's when the Val Venus was a thing, and they would like go to his intro, and he'd be like, "Yeah, I'm like, dude, like
that's the point where we should have put a
come out in a towel just humping people. Yeah, no.
Anyways,
nothing beats Crime Time.
And yet
Shout out Crime Time.
Shout out Crime Time.
Shout out Crime
and
Time.
it took 15 years after that to finally realize that Vince McMahon had something wrong with him.
yeah. Talking about being poopy. So with that, it's time to go. I'm going to let you break those cards because I've had bad luck. Orky, you want to set up?
I will say that a news story came out that Taylor Swift reportedly being advised to dump Travis Kelce to protect her brand after she got booed at the Super Bowl.
That's dumb.
That's dumb.
Something to keep up? Something to...
Well,
that's kind of dumb.
I believe he's returning for another season.
Well,
right?
You know what's funny?
Revenge tour.
How do I do this?
You know what is funny though?
Hang on, you gotta.
I wonder if she would be like,
just rip them open and.
Yeah, you gotta open them.
See my beautiful.
It would be funny,
and then you like slide them up so people can see. It
would be funny if all of a sudden after she got with Travis Kelce, he wins the Super Bowl, literally goes to the Super Bowl the year after, and they lose, and she's like, "You're kind of a loser." I don't date losers.
Yeah,
there's some gum for you.
Thank you.
Chew it. Chew it.
Oh, dude, you're doing. I don't know. Is that safe, dude? Like it's just crumbling.
He doesn't
in your
have to
mouth,
work today.
I don't like
Elliot. That was a bad move, dude.
Like, give me.
All right. What do we got?
We got. Ooh, good one. I don't know if I'm backwards or not. This is Roland Rome's.
Here, you do that. I'll throw that out.
Yeah.
He's struggling over here. He actually ate it.
That was concrete.
Roland
That was
Rome's
chalk.
Reds. You want to look at that? It's a good one.
Okay. Very
Yeah,
cool.
Roland Rome's.
Ooh, that one looks fancy.
Gary Getty. I remember him.
Gary
Played for the
Getty.
Twins. Yeah. I don't know if we're going to hit gold with any of these tops right here.
We don't know.
This is a Padres player. Chris James.
Chris James.
I'm a Padres fan. I've never heard of him. Am I doing this backwards? No, they're just kind of.
Nah, just don't worry about it. Just go as, just go as you go.
We're going.
Ooh.
Floyd Bannister for the Royals. Look
The
at that.
Bannister.
That's a pretty face, man. That's a good name. Solid name right here. Oh, the next one's going to be a good one. For the Dodgers, Mike Marshall.
The Marshall's in. All right.
Oh,
What we get?
we got an Ozzie Smith.
Aussie. Oi, oi, oi.
Smith. It's not a rookie. It's not anything special about it. It's just an Ozzie Smith. Probably a
Okay.
very common card.
Got a tight knee there.
For the Mets, your boy, Randy Myers.
Randy Myers. No relation to Seth.
Nope. Oh, look at this. Kurt Floyd
Kurt Floyd.
with the old classic 90s baseball card where it's just the bat on the shoulder like kids do. And
Here.
Did you see that the MLB changed the Phillies and Pirates so it's no longer the poo game?
whoa, look at Ken Phelps. And this guy looks like one of the coaches from Rookie of the Year.
Okay.
Look at that.
Oh yeah.
What a great picture. Oh,
Funny
man.
enough, they knew to just put athletics because somehow in the 90s they knew Oakland
was all
couldn't
gonna
keep
go
them.
wrong.
Speaking of
They
athletics,
knew John Fisher before it would happen.
another big player here. Dennis Eckersley, athletics.
Ooh, Dickardsley.
If this isn't a baseball name, I don't know what is. Goose Gazzo
Shout out Goose.
for the Blue Jays.
Shout out Goose.
By the way, lots of mustaches here.
My baby boy Goose.
I gotta say, I do have
David
a soft
Konine.
spot for the Blue Jays. I love their logo. Their dome is so weird looking.
Mm-hmm. David Cone,
The cone.
the Conester.
I'm not thinking we're getting anything good.
Getting a lot of Mets here.
We are.
If you spent money on the Mets, you would have got.
got
We
some.
should got a couple of cards.
What was it? 1990.
Yeah.
Greg Swindle.
Ooh, the swindler.
Oh, we got a manager card.
Oh, manager.
Dave Johnson for the Mets.
That's 3 Mets right there.
We got a lot of Mets.
That's 3 Mets.
This is your deck.
That's 3 Mets, baby.
Tigers, Gary Pettis. Woo, look at Gary.
Look at Gary
Look
go.
at Gary. Oh, and last but not least, another great look here. Looks like he has chew in his both cheeks.
As he should. Double lipper.
Ron Karkovice.
See, it's not easy. These
Ron. We'll
names.
call him Ron K.
All right. Here, these are the most expensive
Okay. It's okay. Names aren't
Tops
easy.
1990 Tops baseball cards. Okay. There's a group of them here. Jose Canseco, Don Mattingly, Nolan Ryan,
Can't believe you ate the gum.
which didn't we pull in Nolan Ryan? The error card?
You need the error card for it to be worth money.
Okay. Bo Jackson,
Oh,
Frank Thomas,
Okay.
Ken Griffey Jr.
Okay.
Yep.
Uh,
Is Ozzie Smith or Dennis Eckersley on that list?
no. Larry Walker, Ricky Henderson.
What about Rob Karkovis?
What about Ron K?
There's a George Bush card.
Devers?
There's a There's
George
a
H.
George
How
Bush?
is Goose Gazzo not worth anything?
Is it
Frank Thomas.
Is it George H. Bush or George W?
George? It's George H.
Yeah.
Bush.
Ah.
If I had to pull my favorite one,
Didn't we pull this, Ryan?
if I had to
Do
pull
you?
anyone, I would say this is my favorite of the whole thing. The Ken Phelps.
Ken
is,
Phelps got a hell of a mustache right there.
Yeah, the Ken Phelps is.
So-
Look at that. That's
We're gonna keep on chasing cards. Maybe next week we'll just do Pokemon cards.
Catch 'em all.
He has more.
Gotta catch 'em.
So,
if you
Fast
ain't.
Eddie,
Yes.
Thank you very much for
Of
joining
course.
us on Taps and Takes. Where can everyone find you?
rantsnetwork.com, at Edward Rouse, all your favorite social media platforms, and of course, here on Taps and Takes.
Now,
here.
Elliot, you still gonna be blogging?
Got a blog coming out this week. On
What's
the-
it about?
The woes of the Dallas Mavs.
Talk about the Dallas Mavs via Rants Network. So go ahead
Absolutely.
and check that out on our splash page. After you listen to everything that we put out,
Subscribe.
then you can go and check out
Subscribe.
everything else, or maybe read the blog as you're listening to us.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
You're going to go ahead and
Multitask.
check out the most recent episode of the Do Over podcast where James and I scream at each other about gun rights. So that should be fun. And this is a good, like, a ginger to the sushi, Elliot. It's a palate cleanser. And live broadcasting via Twitch is coming up. And also, do not forget, we are taking over Grog's traditional Irish pub, northeast corner of Willow Knees on St. Patrick's Day. We expect to see you here. And that's it, gentlemen.
You should do a St. Patrick's Day dress contest, like costume contest.
Elliot will go overboard and just win because that's what Elliot does when those things happen.
Sorry, I actually participate in things.
I participate.
Oh, yeah? What'd you dress up for?
Who's wearing green today, mother? I am.
Is it St. Patrick's Day?
Anyways, until next week, gotta go. Love you. Bye.